In order to do the elevations, we'll need to compile a couple of our different plans we've created. Our roof plan, a plan with our doors and windows and exterior walls, and our landscaping and site plan. As always, before we begin, let's copy our last drawings and move them over. I'll then copy the landscape design and place it over near our roofing plan, and grab one with our doors and windows and exterior walls. Before we match our walls, windows, and doors with our roof plan, let's remove all of these interior walls from this one. Make sure to leave the windows and doors in place though. Then, if you remember, we made a 2-foot overhang all the way around for our roof. Our house will match back up with our roof plan. We can then move this directly into our landscaping and site plan. I'm going to erase the street, make things a little bit cleaner and easier to use. Elevation plans are necessary for us to be able to view the home instead of from a top view to front and side views. We can use the construction line under the Draw panel and use our construction line layer to create lines that extend infinitely from a specific point. You can then take these construction lines and place them on every important corner and feature, including doors and windows, and other such features such as the center of trees, and especially on the corners of walls. It'll be very helpful if you only use construction lines for one side at a time. For instance, I've used the construction lines set specific to objects on the back wall or on the south elevation. Now that we have these lines extending infinitely outwards, we can use regular line commands to recreate what our home would look like from the back. As you can tell, the corner of my wall starts here. So I'll move up a distance, start, and move over to this line. This represents the bottom of our back wall. Most walls on the exterior are somewhere around 10 feet tall. They can be bigger or smaller depending upon the appearance of the house, but for this project we'll do just 10 feet. Now, this represents the back face of our home. We'll additionally need to put in a wall line for this corner here. We can now use the window layer to construct our windows. We'll take and make our window, and we'll put it around 40 inches from the bottom of our wall. Then, because we're using 3-foot windows, we'll simply make them square and go up 3 feet. We can copy this for every location we have a window now. Now, because these 2 windows are actually for bathrooms, we'll adjust them a little bit. Now, instead of 3 feet, they'll be 2 feet wide, and we'll make them 1.5 feet tall. And I'll simply copy this one over to the other position as well. After we've placed all of these lines, we'll go back and trim up these windows. Now let's place our back doors. We can do our doors in one of 2 ways. We can simply draw them as rectangles that are 7 feet high, or we can actually go into the Design Center under House Designer, Blocks, and choose the doors that are available here. I'm going to grab the plain door as well as the fancy door for the front door later. We can go ahead and move these doors into place, and I'll mirror it about this access to get a second one. Now, our back wall has our doors and windows, and the only thing we need to insert for this elevation is the roof and our landscaping. For our roof, we'll start with this line here. Because the roof will meet the top of the wall, we can simply draw directly off of this. And same on the other side, we'll go up to this line. Now, similar to what we had done when we did the roof plan, we'll need to calculate the dimensions of the height of the roof at these different positions. Since we've already done that, we know that for the far ends, it comes up 7.25 feet. And for the center hip portion, it comes up 8.5 feet. Once you've completed whatever portion the construction line is related to, you can always go through and delete those construction lines. So for our windows, doors, and now the edges of the roof, we can delete these. Now we can see the elevation coming together. The last thing we need to do is include trees and this hot tub. Again, back in the design center, we have trees available to us to be able to place. I'm going to choose this evergreen type tree to represent the tree on the left, and this other evergreen for the trees on the right. As you can see, we don't have a side elevation for our hot tub, so we'll have to make one, which won't be very difficult. I'm going to scale this evergreen tree down to 0.6 to be able to match our smaller trees. Additionally, let's clean up our windows. Now we just need to put in our hot tub. I guess that a hot tub would be about 36 inches high. Now, to complete our back elevation, we just need to adjust the roof to be able to match the style of what it would look like on the back side here. Make sure that these are on the correct layer. And we finished our back elevation. We'll follow the exact same process for each side of the house. When you go to do your east and west elevations, remember that you can rotate your view to align it correctly. I'm going to speed through these next sections so you can see what it looks like to work through each elevation. You'll notice that as I get back to the front elevation, I'm actually going to copy the back elevation to save time. And I'll do the same for the west elevation. I'm going to go ahead and turn the layers back on so you can see just how much we have.